All pictures show that. Like there's
all praises. No, that's a fact. I just had to ask because I asked a Mexican kid the same question, and because they Mexican, they don't be also wanting to subscribe to black either because they look like Iso, or white people,
or Chinese
call
people,
them European, or Chinese people, or Hawaiian. So some Hawaiians, you got other Hawaiians that look dark, but anyway, he was like no, they was in black, man. They was light. They had mixed. I said no. I said these people was originally dark. I said they got light when they started mixing after the fall of the empire. I said, but I know you don't want to subscribe to that. And I asked him where the Messiah came from. He didn't even know, and he's a Catholic, so he claimed. He didn't even know that Messiah came from the root of David. And when I had him read it and showed him that the Messiah was black, and I showed him and told him to read this, and I said, you can read it out loud if you want. He didn't want to read that out loud. And then he kind of stopped talking to me for a while.
See, I must admit, and I'm going to share this on the show too, I do feel like people use other people's truths as their own against them. Does that make sense?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and then they deny them their personal truth. Like and from American perspective, you really have no knowledge outside of slavery as a black man. You know what I mean? It just says, oh man, like even from an inventor's perspective, you mean to tell me that, and this is where it's just like, you got to understand the genius that's inside of you. Steve Jobs is credited for making a smartphone, right? But it was a black man that made the touchscreen, which makes the smartphone smart. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have patents, and we take our smart ideas to these big dudes, and these big dudes get all the credit. You know what I mean? And at one time, if you read about them, they want to take credit for all the knowledge, but yet it's still, I'm gonna say this right. They want to take credit for all the knowledge, and it's like I don't want to take credit for all the knowledge that they thought of, because not to call them people genius, not to say them people are not geniuses.
They're geniuses.
Yeah, and all the things that was thought out amongst their team. Like, it's like me coming up with saying, hey, look, I want to make a book about black people. And you say, yo, you know what? Add this factor in. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, oh shit, that might be the greatest. That might trump my idea of you know what I mean, black people. But about my original story, and it's going to, you know what I mean. But like, then when it comes time to passing the roses in its proper places, this guy still want to get all the roses. You know what I mean? And you look at, Bill Gates was not born in poverty. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't born rich either. You know what I mean? And he was able to look at documents and shit like that we cannot have. We cannot get ourselves. You know what I mean? We didn't know about half that shit until, I don't know if you know about Snowden.
No.
You don't remember Snowden, the secret courts? He gave all that information up, especially about 9/11.
Yes. And he had the glasses. He was wearing the glasses. That's the brother. I think he went to Russia or something. Didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, not the brother, but well, he's still the brother.
Yeah.
He's still the brother. He's still our other brother.
And Russia won't do the Russia, and I see, and I respect. See, sometimes I respect communism. You know what I mean? And because of and you sometimes when you give people free reign to do what they want, they actually hurt people. Does that make sense? Okay. But you know, this show is not about that. This show is about, do God love black people? You know, and I think after the intro you're gonna know my perspective, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you that space to talk, you know what I mean? And even in the intro, you wanna understand why, like, you know, okay, there's a million, there's fucking in 4 blocks of radius, there's 8 churches around here, so it's not hard to find somebody. But this is like, nah, I don't want anybody to have this, you know what I mean, conversation, because we're not, you know, it's more than Bible thumping. Like, you see how you handle the dude on the phone, you know what I mean? And when he was just trying to knowledge thump you, and you was just like, okay, I give you confirmation on that, but what about this? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, but the world's evil. I don't want to, yeah. But like, you know what I mean? He was like, not my world. And then I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, my son's in line, and I was like, yo, you know, first of all, I'm proud of that. You know what I mean? Right. This and that, and yeah. So this is like, I wanna hit with this show right here. I wanna hit the people that are 17, and somehow, some way, they get rid of this. You know what I mean? And they see us. You know what I mean? And even though we got 2 different beliefs, you know what I mean? Not to say you don't have knowledge and I don't have knowledge, right? But like, I want them to see it, and hear it, and understand it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Because that's the part where we fucked up at. You know what I'm saying? And part of the reason why I do the show is like, y'all, I want to hit them, because I want to give them all the knowledge I had before I took that pain. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Right. You know what I mean? Like, yo, if we knew what we knew now, we wouldn't have been in jail. Not to say that we regret jail, because I don't. You know what I mean? But just because we don't regret it, that doesn't mean we don't want our sons to go through that. Like, oh wait, you know, it making sense. No, I'm not trying to. Okay, because like, you know what I mean.
Another reason you make a whole lot of sense is because, like, you know, we kick it and we joke about things, and sometimes even little jabs at each other, but it's all in good love, because it's genuine love between me and his brothers. Like you said, regardless of what belief we hold in, and at the same time, it can be a coexistence, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I know many ain't gonna want to subscribe to our belief that we gonna be kings and rulers of the earth. Mm-hmm. You know, the children of Israel, and only coming from the scriptures, and because I believe in it. Mm-hmm. Others are gonna coexist, mm-hmm. but it's gonna be one nation coming from the book of Obadiah that the Most High Yah said he getting rid of, and that's the so-called Esau, the Edomite, so-called European white man that we know of today. That's the rulers of the world. So he said they nation gonna be no more in the book of Obadiah, and I believe this.
So now, what about the Jews?
Now, so you see the Jews.
Oh wait, let's say this for sure. Let's say it for
sure. We can still break it down, but just quick, because you asked that question, I'm not gonna forget it. You can ask it again. Uh-huh. But the Jews, you have Esau joined with Japhet, so you have a mixture of, because these 2 pale nations, mm-hmm. Japhet and Esau. So you have 2 of them mixed over there, mm-hmm. together. So they have a boiling pot of them 2 mixed up European nations together. And they tell you about the isles and the islands in the scriptures. And what's crazy is the demographics matches the lands that they had.
So like, and you know, like, because I feel like part 2 of this show, we're getting to the knowledge. Right. And this is a part where it's just like prime example, like, yo, what do you think about the Neanderthal gene? How it's only found in whites and Asians. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like that part right there fucks me.
Man, I'm so mad I ain't bring that. I ain't bring that.
But we can take breaks, so if you wanna, yeah.
It's something about the Japanese. It's a word.
I don't trust them.
No, I'm saying, but it's a word. It was like a special word that we call people that Japanese Down syndrome. Uh-huh. That Down syndrome, what's crazy is comes from what was they called before? Mongolians, right? It's a word. When you look it up, it also means Down syndrome, but it sounds like it comes from the Mongol word. And what's crazy is they were saying they had Down syndrome. And if you know the story of Lot sleeping with his daughters, Ammon and Moab, to this day in the scriptures, it's believed that Ammon is the Japanese and Moab is the Chinese. The brothers that came from the daughters of the dad who slept with his sisters. Lot.
See, and this is. See, I feel like part 2 is going to be interesting because this is what I feel like. I feel like when it comes to intelligence, like you know that hustle in jail. You know what I mean? And here's the funny thing. I feel like outside looking in, I feel like, you know, seeing what I seen, they knew to let us hustle this way because any other way would cause violence, not towards me and you, but towards them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, imagine if there was no cards in the feds and just like, yo, we black. You know what I mean? Imagine, like, you know, imagine if there was cars, it's like, yo, hey, all the representatives say, yo, we black. You know what I mean? Like, yo, fuck all that shit. We black first. And they start preaching, nah, dog, listen, this is the part where you're either going to be in the wolf pack or you're going to be a lone wolf. You have to choose. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're in a wolf pack, you're going to learn things about yourself that you need to have about yourself. Like, you know, that's why I kind of like, you know, I respect. That's why I don't speak bad on gang activity because the original sources of that, you know what I mean, like the Black Panthers, even like the Vice Lords, am I saying it right? And the GDs, they was providers in the communities, and a lot of people, you know what I mean. So it's just like, you know, I don't know too much about the blood history, but like, I remember being locked up with Cali, and he was talking the Crip stuff, and he was trying to like, he's like, yo, you be the perfect one. We don't move like them. We're not allowed to move like them. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't. So like, I don't. And like, you know, me coming from a small town, the first time I really experienced, you know, I experienced shady niggas, but like the savage shady was like with the NYC niggas. You know what I mean? And I don't, you know, and me being a black sheep, you know what I mean, I chilled with them, you know what I mean? Because I felt like, yo, this is the only love I can get where I can just be me. And that was a mistake because, you know, I ain't spoke to my mom. My mom even told me, she said, yo, I wish I look back in your life. And the only regret I have is that when they was locking you up, they would have took advantage about how smart you really are. You know, because, you know, eventually she's going to do a show, but like to her, I'm the smartest child. You know what I mean? Which is, you know what I mean? Even though, but at the same time, to her, I'm Frankie fuck up too. Like, God damn it, how you didn't just steal the car. You went on some MacGyver shit to stop and fucking steal the car. And you took the car over here, which was some dumb shit. Then you went back on some MacGyver shit to hide from the police, only to do some dumb shit to chill at this bitch's house, whose mom is downstairs calling the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but if we look at our process, you know what I mean? And that's where I really pay attention to people is a process. Like, how do they, you know, our instinct, like how do they take this information, how they move with it, and like there's certain things that shady people, you know what I mean? When I look at a person and I really look at them as shady, it's because, like, you know, hey, you got this knowledge or you got this wealth and you're not giving it to the people, you know what I'm saying? And does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But this first part is going to be about the God love black people. You know what I mean? So it's going to be deep. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just
All right.
The most important part.
Let's get it on then.
Okay.